the Scranton Area Community Foundation's 66th year serving the region as a grant-maker, charitable resource, and catalyst for change and growth was eventful despite all the challenges surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks to the generosity of the Foundation's many donors, funds, and community partners, here's a look at the accomplishments and impact the Foundation has had across the northeastern Pennsylvania region this year. The Scranton Area Community Foundation began 2020 in January by welcoming new board members and by receiving reaccreditation with the highest standard for philanthropic excellence by the National Standards for U.S. Community Foundations, administered by the Council on Foundations. This accreditation is a significant accomplishment that indicates that the Scranton Area Community Foundation demonstrates a commitment to transparency, quality, integrity, and accountability as it carries out its mission of creating charitable connections and improving the life for all people across the region. In 2020, the Scranton Area Community Foundation welcomed over 20 new charitable funds established by people who want to make a difference and leave a lasting legacy. These funds are already making a difference in the lives of so many across the northeastern Pennsylvania region. Serving as a community convener and catalyst for change and growth. In February, the Scranton Area Community Foundation finished a series of community roundtable discussions that began in 2019 and that took a deeper look at some of the challenges facing the region, including food insecurity, animal welfare, reintegration, civic engagement, and affordable opportunity housing. The Foundation released its 2020 Community Roundtable Report, providing a basic blueprint for philanthropic possibilities and opportunities. The Foundation works every day in conjunction with donors, partnering foundations, and community leaders to inform and guide regional progress, and its latest Roundtable Report shares timely information and ideas on how to address critical needs in the community. When the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the region in mid-March, the Scranton Area Community Foundation Board of Governors responded by immediately establishing one of the very first COVID-19 response funds in the nation and worked in conjunction with Foundation leadership to successfully raise and distribute over $1 million to 150 charitable organizations ranging from food insecurity to personal protective equipment to emergency child care. This funding was distributed in 6 grant-making rounds over 3 months, meeting to support critical needs during the crisis. Additionally, from March through the summer, the Foundation made sure that charitable organizations were able to continue their professional development through the pandemic by hosting a series of online seminars through its Center for Community Leadership and Nonprofit Excellence. These webinars featured training programs on crisis management, sustainability planning, virtual fundraising, and more. The Foundation also established a nonprofit resources Google group, a network which allowed nonprofits to connect with each other and quickly respond to the changing needs of our communities during unprecedented times. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly created many challenges across the nation, but in northeastern Pennsylvania, the Scranton Area Community Foundation was able to help bring support to the communities it serves during the most difficult times because of the generosity of loyal donors and generous supporters. In May, Scranton Area Community Foundation partnered with Scranton's Mayor, Paige Cognetti, through a widely publicized virtual fundraising event that raised nearly $200,000 in under 48 hours to support food security in Lackawanna County. All donations for this fundraiser went to support CEO Weinberg Northeast Regional Food Bank, Friends of the Poor, and Meals on Wheels of NEPA through the Foundation's NEPA COVID-19 Response Fund. Generous partners including Moses Taylor Foundation, Geisinger, the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation, and Manuka Subaru, along with the Scranton Area Community Foundation, generously matched all donations for the Heart of Scranton's fundraiser event dollar for dollar. The Foundation is grateful for the City of Scranton's partnership on this event. In June, the Scranton Area Community Foundation hosted NEPA Gives, a one-day online giving event that made history as the largest day of giving in Northeast Pennsylvania. NEPA Gives brought together 167 local nonprofit organizations who worked together to collectively raise over $500,000 in just 24 hours. NEPA Gives was hosted by the Scranton Area Community Foundation in partnership with the community foundations in Luzerne, Pike, and Wayne counties, the Northeastern Pennsylvania Nonprofit and Community Assistance Center, NCAC, and other community sponsors to help charitable organizations raise much-needed funds during these challenging times where in-person fundraising could not take place, and to raise awareness about the critical work nonprofits carry out across the region. Over 2,700 donors generously supported NEPA Gives. As a catalyst and change agent, the Scranton Area Community Foundation leads various community initiatives, including Women in Philanthropy, NEPA Moves, the Center for Community Leadership and Nonprofit Excellence, the NEPA Animal Welfare Collaborative, and is in the process of developing an equitable housing coalition. The Women in Philanthropy Initiative, which is made up of over 100 active supporters, responded quickly to help women, girls, and their families experiencing hardships resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic this year. Women in Philanthropy established a business relief fund, which gave support to women who own small businesses in Lackawanna County while they dealt with challenges surrounding COVID-19. Provided COVID-19 relief grants to the Women's Resource Center, Children's Advocacy Center of NEPA, and Outreach Center for Community Resources to meet the need for critical services to help women, girls, and their families. And supported virtual learning through grants to Keystone College, the Northeastern Intermediate Unit, and the Boys and Girls Club. NEPA Moves, the Foundation's collaborative focused on increasing access to equitable transportation, celebrated the announcement by the County of Lackawanna Transit System, COLTS, and the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce of a new bus route servicing the Mid-Valley Industrial Park in Jessup. Increasing access to mass transit to regional industrial parks was a key NEPA Moves goal. NEPA Moves, composed of over 100 community partners, continues to work to remove transportation barriers that limit access to affordable housing, job opportunities, educational and cultural opportunities, and quality health care in northeastern Pennsylvania. Through its Center for Community Leadership and Nonprofit Excellence, the Foundation, in partnership with Moses Taylor Foundation and the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation, hosted the second annual 2020 NEPA Learning Conference in September completely virtually through an online conference platform, offering over 200 nonprofit organizations and professionals across the region an opportunity to receive in-depth training from local and nationally recognized presenters. Attendees of this two-day learning conference had an opportunity to learn, network, and connect virtually with peers and discover how they can create a learning culture within their organization. The conference shared strategies for staying solvent during unprecedented times and taught how to maximize resiliency to thrive during tough times, among other timely topics. The NEPA Animal Welfare Collaborative of the Scranton Area Community Foundation works on initiatives aimed at ensuring animals in northeastern Pennsylvania live a life free from abuse and neglect. With over 40 individuals and organizations in the animal rescue, shelter, and sanctuary community, the collaborative focused on projects that helped pet owners during financial crises and which increased access to veterinary care. The collaborative held 3 pet food pantries this year where it provided food for over 560 pets whose owners needed assistance in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Scranton Area Community Foundation distributed over $440,000 in scholarship funds in 2020, benefiting 150 local students from scholarship funds established by generous donors and administered by the foundation, helping to lower the cost of education. Scholarships include the Gary Inspired Me Scholarship, the Matt McGloin Scholarship, the Neil J. Fassila Scholarship, and the James F. Swift Scholarship, among many others. In an effort to create charitable connections, the Scranton Area Community Foundation provides foundation management services to other charitable foundations serving the people of northeastern Pennsylvania and beyond. The foundation administers the Northeastern Pennsylvania Healthcare Foundation and the Robert H. Spitz Foundation. And the Northeastern Pennsylvania Healthcare Foundation announced its Careers in Care initiative earlier this year, a $1.5 million 3-year strategic initiative aimed at supporting and expanding the healthcare workforce in NEPA. The foundation is also continuing its $3.2 million 10-year commitment to the NEPA Healthcare Foundation Scholars Program at the Geisinger Commonwealth School of Medicine. The Robert H. Spitz Foundation committed generous support to help catalyze the NEPA COVID-19 Response Fund this year, and also generously provided over $776,000 in grant funding for 42 organizations for programs which focus on breaking the cycle of poverty, provide services for veterans, support for animal welfare, and for Jewish culture and community. The Robert H. Spitz Foundation, established from the estate of Robert H. Spitz in 2015, has provided over $3 million in funding to the community to date. In the midst of a global pandemic, the Scranton Area Community Foundation has worked with generous charitable donors, philanthropic partners, and nonprofit organizations to expand its reach, create new charitable funds, spearhead community initiatives, and respond to increased community needs. The foundation raised a record-setting $3.6 million to date this year and distributed 789 grants to 463 regional nonprofit organizations in need. None of this would be possible without your generosity. The Scranton Area Community Foundation is grateful to you for continuing a long history of giving in Northeast Pennsylvania and for your support during a year in which giving means so much. On behalf of the Board of Governors, leadership, and staff of the Scranton Area Community Foundation, we thank you.